is now.
So, like, how much credence do you put in the narrative that the NBA wants to extend these series? Because I was listening to some podcast and they were interviewing Tim Donaghy, former disgraced NBA ref, but he was saying like the NBA will. There are refs who took pride in the fact that they were like the extenders, or if there was a game six, the NBA is putting X, Y, and Z ref here to make sure it goes game seven, and not necessarily that the NBA goes in. At least according to Donahue, he could just be full of crap, but not necessarily that the NBA goes in and they're going to say, "Hey, make sure Philadelphia wins this game." But like before the game, they have the meeting of the officials, and they're like, "Hey, watch for Bam Adebayo's push-offs, or watch for Jimmy Butler. He travels every time he takes a pump fake, or something like that." So then the refs are more focused on that, and they're being told by like the league to, "Hey, make sure that you call that," and then that's obviously going to lead. If it happens, that's obviously going to lead to some extra possessions for the Sixers. And I know they lost by 35 last game, so it wouldn't have mattered. But most of these games are probably coming down to 4 or 5 points. And I guess how much can that swing? And do you believe that's something that can affect some of these game sixes going into potentially going into game seven?
So I, in my years working in sports, have talked to multiple current at the time and now former athletes, as well as former athletes back then. And I've actually had this conversation with a few different ones in the NBA. I will not say who or exactly what they said, but
give us names.
There is beliefs. There are beliefs that the refs are being told to do a certain thing to help the NBA make more money. Look, it makes sense when you think about it from the revenue point of view. Tickets sold in the stadium, merchandise sold in the stadium, food sold in the stadium, parking. Like, there are reasons the NBA wants their series to go longer. And if it's feasible, like you're not just seeing one team blow out the other more often than not, it's a good opportunity for them to try and do it. And if you've got marquee names, it definitely helps the argument for why. My only other thing I'm going to say is the 2016 NBA Finals. Because that was over. That beatdown that Golden State put on Cleveland, that series was over if Game 5 happens the way it's supposed to happen, with Draymond Green allowed to play and Andrew Bogut still healthy. Didn't happen that way. So, got a 7-game series out of it when it should have been over.
Two things we learned on throwing stones, aside from being dressed like we're Pyrus. We have the inside scoop from Matt Bassin. The NBA absolutely fixes games. Put a stamp on it.
I'ma get it, you know I be on the way. Yeah.